What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So a couple weeks ago, I went over some secrets of the Pokémon anime that came from a novelization that was written by the anime's original head writer. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out, because we are going to pick up where we left off in this video. As a quick refresher, this novelization contains many details from the world of the Pokémon anime that were never publicized in the TV show, and given that this comes from an official source, it's fun to look over them to discover all of the secrets that the anime has to offer. Anyways, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, so picking up where we left off, we've got some cool details about Professor Oak. At just 20 years old, Professor Oak published a book titled An Introduction to the Research of Portable Beasts, which gained him a lot of attention within the scientific community. His studies were widely accepted, and this landed him a job as a professor at Celadon University in their Portable Beasts department at the astounding age of just 25 years old. However, things got quiet for Professor Oak after this, because by the time he hit his 30s, he hadn't published any other studies and moved back home to Pallet Town to open his Pokémon laboratory. Moving on to some other classic characters, the book mentions some interesting details about Officer Jenny and why pretty much every police officer is an Officer Jenny. First, it says that the most important fields of work like police officers are dominated by women because most men try to become Pokémon trainers. However, according to the book, more people fail than succeed, and while some men are able to make a change and get into a career, some refuse to give up and end up having no other skills, which makes them all but useless in the job market. As for why every officer is a Jenny, well, apparently it's a family business. The Jenny's ancestors were police officers, and since then it has become tradition for the Jenny family to become police officers as well. The book also has a funny explanation as to why all Jennies are referred to as Jenny and not by their first name. It states that since much of the police force is made up of the Jenny women, it had become common for them to receive names that, when written in kanji, translated to numbers such as 100th child, 200th child, and so on, in order to keep track of everyone. As you can imagine, however, the Jennies didn't really appreciate this, so out of respect, each woman is simply referred to as Officer Jenny. Next are some details about how the gyms work, but the reality of the Pokémon gyms is a little bit harsher than you might have thought. According to the book, a gym leader is fired whenever they lose 3 battles in a row. Because of this, gym leaders are known to often bribe challengers into losing in order to keep their jobs. However, it's apparently still not a very good job, as the gyms cost a ton of money to operate, but they don't get the support that they need from the government. Well, that just made the Pokémon world a whole lot more depressing. Now, the rest of this information comes from the various appendices from certain chapters of the book. They offer some really interesting facts, but deal more with the background information of the world as opposed to info from Ash's journey. The appendix of chapter 1 gives us a theory or a quote-unquote legend of how Pokemon exactly came to be. Now, I'm going to give the book the benefit of the doubt because it does say that the validity of this legend cannot be confirmed, but it's probably the wackiest piece of Pokemon lore that I've ever heard. So it begins, no joke, by paraphrasing the Bible and telling the story of how God created the world in 7 days. He created the earth, the sky, the plants and animals that live on it, and according to the book, during his day off on the 7th day, he created Pokemon. I'm not making this up. The other appendix I'll be talking about is the Chapter 2 appendix, and its information is not quite as crazy, but still immensely interesting. It states that research on Pokemon was first published in the late 18th century by a French author named Count Tajirin. Obviously, this is a reference to Pokemon's creator, Satoshi Tajiri, and from here the info only gets cooler. At the time of Count Tajirin's research, there were only 30 known species of Pokemon, such as Charizard and Vaporeon. In fact, it wasn't until the year 1925 that it was discovered that Pokemon could be stored in small capsules, such as Pokeballs, and at that time a total of just 80 species of Pokemon had been discovered. However, this brings up a question. If it wasn't known until 1925 that Pokemon could be stored in, well, your pocket, then what were Pokemon called before this? This is something that even the book calls a mystery, and who knows if we'll ever find out the answer. And those were some more secrets of the Pokémon anime. As you can see, these books have some interesting information to offer, and whether or not you consider it canon, it's definitely fascinating to go back and see what was likely the original vision for the anime before we got what we know today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and let me know down in the comments below what you think of these secrets and if this is something you'd like to see more of. I might not even be able to make more if I'm unable to find more translations, but I will certainly try if it's something you guys want to see. Anyways, if you're new, make sure you subscribe because I will be back with another video soon, and as always, I'll smell you guys later.